What's going on, guys? JB Lion back with another YouTube video. I think this is 2 on the bounce, something like that, or 3 on the bounce. No, 2 on the bounce. 2 on the bounce. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about the games that happened over the weekend. So you had Inter vs Bologna and Chelsea vs Fulham. Chelsea-Fulham game first, so let's get into it. What is there to really say? If you don't talk about the first half, it was alright. But no, as usual, we looked a bit lacklustre in the attack. We created chances, but, you know, it really didn't seem like we got going as such. Like I said, we had chances to score, but we just couldn't take them. We had a few snap chances and things like that. But yeah, when we did get going, we looked good with Alex Iwobi scoring first of all for Fulham, and then Tyreek George scoring for us, which was a lovely goal. I'm so happy to see him get his first goal in the Premier League. I think he really needs it, and hopefully he can push on and become something really good for us. It was still a really good goal by him. And then later on, Pedro Neto with an absolute worldie. You know, not in the case of how far out it was, just in case of the touch and then the finish. It was just beautiful by Pedro Neto, which I think he also needed for confidence as well. So no, it was a very good game. Chelsea played pretty well, like I said. We had our chances to score and we just didn't take them. But luckily we got away with the points. We really needed that, especially as we're getting closer to the end of the season. If we're hopefully going to secure Champions League or even Europa. Obviously, if we're in the conference, we get Europa anyway. But we kind of don't want to hope and beg that, you know, we have to win the Conference League to get any sort of football like that. But no, we played really well. Fulham obviously did what they do best, which is being a challenge, as they always are. But overall, we played good. Had some good moments, like I said. Could have done a bit better, but I think that's just been Chelsea all over the season. I think, you know, the team and the squad are just trying to limp their way to the finish line now to obviously just get the season over and done with, have a proper relax and a proper relax, and hopefully get a new striker in during the summer. But we do have the tournament in the summer, things like the Continental Cup or something like that, so that'll be interesting to see how we're doing that. If we, like I said, if we play like we have been playing, then I think we're going to struggle against big teams, but it'll be our first sort of proper challenge, other than obviously the teams we had to play in the Premier League. But yeah, 2-1, don't mind that at all. Like I said, in the push for the European competitions, it's what we needed. Moving on to the second game, which was Inter vs Bologna, and yeah, it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I think, you know, Inter are really starting to show their sort of wear and tear now with the amount of games they've had to play. The squad's quite stretched. There's a lot of players in the team that are, you know, semi-fit, semi-not fit. You know, Thuram is injured. You've got Arnautovic, which is basically 50% fit. You know, you've got a lot of players that are legging a bit, just because of the amount of games we've played. But it was like Inzaghi always said, it's expected to be that way because it's such a full-on season. And I think a lot of teams, not just Inter, have complained about the amount of games and how full on it has been this season. So yeah, they did lose in the end. Orsolini with a lovely goal right at the end, which was kind of annoying. Obviously good for Orsolini because he's been knocking on Italiano's door to get in the squad, but he got left out. But a lovely finish by him in the end. Inter should have definitely done better. Had a few chances, but like I said, it's kind of difficult because, you know, the squad's rotating so much where players are injured or, you know, not 100%. It's kind of hard to keep that consistency in the squad. Obviously, Correa went up front, which was kind of, I don't know. I think Correa is always one of those players that's had the potential but just never actually, like, fulfilled it. And I think yesterday he just didn't really take his chance. It was his chance to basically get in the team and, you know, really put a foothold while you've got Thuram injured and you only got... Oh, excuse me. You've got Arnautovic who's 50%. Yeah, so it's just kind of... That was Correa's moment. He didn't take it, which was... I do kind of feel a bit frustrated for him, but it is what it is. He needs to learn, and that's how you become a big player, is by stepping up when you need it most. But yeah, it's made the title race definitely interesting now, because I think Inter and Napoli are on level points now. So if, say, the season was to end, I don't know, today, as an example, they'd have to do a playoff game. Obviously, Inter are only above them on goal difference. So it's going to be interesting to see how it ends. I think, you know, Inter, they had a good chance to push on and overtake and, you know, really make the deficit change, but they just didn't. And I think, you know, now it's like there's no room for error on Inter's behalf. Same with Napoli, though, but both of them, there's no room for error, especially if they want the Scudetto. I still believe Inter are going to do it, but I also believe that Inter are kind of also focusing on Champions League, because I think that's something they want as well. So it's going to be an interesting end to the season. Only got a few games left for Chelsea and Inter. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see what the next games hold. But yeah, thank you for watching my videos. And thank you for all the views on my last video. I got a lot of views on that and I got 3 likes, which is very, very, very nice of you guys. So thank you. Like I said, I'm still trying to get to 100 subs by the end of the year. If you know anyone or any person who likes football content, then please send them my way. And hope we can get to the 100 subs by the end of the year. I've been JB Lion. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you dudes, dudettes, and all the others in the other video. Ciao, ciao. Bye.